welcome back to Starfish Sea Fishing. Today we're going to be trying for the tope for the shore. Not easy to do this, by the way. So this is my, 7th trip out now. I had a run yesterday, so we'll come back down to try again. Not going to be giving any marks away today, so you're going to be getting a view of the sea. So I'll show you the rigs and baits though. I'll show you what I'm using, and we'll see if we can get a tope today with a bit of luck. So let's get on with the fishing. Yeah, so I'm quite keen to get out fishing today. We're expecting the fish really to come on over high water. So we're going to start off on the beach, fish low, fish it back, and then we'll fish the high water mark. We're going to be starting off with some frozen mackerel for now, just till we get back into the high water mark. I've got some fresh baits for later. We're keeping them chilled, so hopefully they'll work for later. So there's two types of rig I generally use. I use the pulley dongle rig. I'll show you how that's made now. So it's a 5-foot pulley rig. It's on a dongle, so everyone does their tope different. So what I use is a piece of wire. There's a dongle that is got a bit of shrink tube that goes over the hook so it doesn't move. So it's actually a wired dongle. It's not there for any other reason apart from to keep the bait attached, so I'm not getting too much movement. And then onto 120-pound wire biting trace, about 8 inches, just crimped on. You can use Flemish loops if you wish. I do on my Pennel rigs, but not on the dongles. And then that goes through to 150-pound mono, straight through to the Gemini splashdown clip. The way I set the length of my snud is I use a movable stop bead. So instead of just having 8 inches of wire trace, I move that bead up, set it to the length I want, and that gives me the length for the tope on the rigs. So we'll get this one baited up and we'll get it cast out. Well, the best baits by far for me is joey mackerel. So I use small frozen joey mackerel or small fresh mackerel, really. I'll save the fresh for later. We're just going to start off on the flooding side. Not expecting it to be too good at the start, so we'll just start off. So little joey mackerel tend to just chop the nose off. This is baiting up for the dongle. Chop a little bit of the tail off, so we end up with a bait like that. The dongle rig, so you hook it through the eyes. Still unsure about the dongle from the shore. I know they work well off the rocks, but we'll just try that. So it sits through the hook, top of the fish. Then we just bind that on with some bait elastic. The dongles are generally set to the length of the fish I'm using, so I kind of work that out before I make the rigs up. So I generally have the bait and I measure the bait. So put plenty of bait elastic around this. Get this one cast out in a minute. Plenty of bait elastic, make sure that the crabs aren't munching the mackerel while we've got them out. So we just come around the whole of the fish, just around the top of the hook. Tend to just put a little bit of bait elastic just around the top like so, just to hold it on, to make sure the bait's not going to slip down. That is quite important really, because you don't want especially on the dongle rigs, you do not want this coming down. Generally I don't have a problem, they tend to hold on quite well. So there you go. And what I'll do is, I don't want the scent to release too quick, I want to release slowly. So I just give it a couple of stabs in the fish, just on the guts, just to let a little bit of scent out. Flip that in and we'll get this one cast out. So that's a dongle rig. So that's the dongle rig for tope. We'll go there and get this one cast out. So tope fishing isn't easy, to be fair. It takes a lot of time, a lot of effort, a lot of dedication to get these fish out. And it is a team effort as well. You will need someone to land the fish, especially when we're up on the high water mark. But conditions are lovely out there today. Nice rolling surf, flat at the back. That looks perfect to me. It's a nice bright sunny day, not much wind about. I did lose one the other day, it snapped the hook off, but there you go, that's what happens. But I've seen a sign, so we're back for them today. Let's get fishing. So first baits are in, quite happy with that. We started fishing. I'll go through the other rig in a minute, which is a Pennel rig. Totally different setup, to be honest, the way we bait that up, so we'll go through that. Most importantly, when you're coming to tope fishing, I know I say this on a few videos, but this really is important. Make sure you've got that drag set so the tope can run off, because these will give you two sorts of bites. You'll either get a big pull down, run straight away, or you'll get a slackline bite, and then the fish will hit you and you'll have to let it run. But you want the drag quite set hard, so you're tiring the fish out. Yeah, they do fight like mad, and the last thing you want to do, your tope will take your whole rod stand and everything with it if it hits you. So the next rig I'm going to put out is my standard Pennel Pulley rig. So it's a Pennel rig. Again, 5 foot long, don't need to go too long with them. So start off with a lead Gemini splashdown clip, 150 pound mono straight through. That comes down, so on the Pennel I use about 10 to 12 inches, 130 pound breaking strain wire. On the end of that, if you can see, I've got a Flemish loop, a crimp. I snell the circle hook down and just give it one wrap over. And I've got a 6/0 short shank hook on the front again with a Flemish loop. The crimps are only really there to hold just the neaten the Flemish loop up. You don't really need crimps, to be honest, with a Flemish loop. You have one bead in the middle, and that's pretty much all you use for the Pennel rig. You can snell it, you can do all sorts of ways, paper clip it on. There's all sorts of ways to do the Pennel rig, but this is just how I do mine. So let's get this one baited up. So it is kind of big or bust fishing today, to be honest. We're fishing big hooks, 8/0 circles, whole joey mackerel baits. The only fish we're liable to get is a tope. You'll be ignoring every other fish on the beach, basically, unless you get a bull huss. I did have an 8-pound huss here the other day, so we'll see what happens. That was at night time. This is the daytime, middle of the afternoon. We'll see if it fishes today. Hopefully it will. But yeah, time, persistence, effort, and a lot of dedication goes into landing these, to be fair. Right, we'll go through the bait up. So there's no guarantees of a fish. That is part of tope fishing, to be fair. You've got to come out, keep trying until you get that lucky day. Hopefully it'll be today. The 2 of us out today, so hopefully we can get one between us. So the Pennel rig, I generally snell my back circle hook, but I can still move it to the sides of the bait. So the only difference is, I mean, I bait up the way I bait up. Other people will bait up the way they bait up. Everybody's different. So I chop the head and tail off to let some sense out. With the Pennel rig, I generally make a little cut up the side. Fresh mackerel is definitely better than frozen on these beaches and rock marks as well, but we're going to start off with frozen. Take the Pennel rig through the front of the head of the mackerel. I bury the line just into the cut of the fish. I'll then take some bait elastic around that. Other baits work as well. Any fresh fish, dabs, whiting, whatever you want, small pollock, herring, but generally joey mackerel's generally what everyone uses, to be honest. Smaller joeys are probably better because you can get a bit more distance with your cast. You certainly want to keep your wits about you when you're doing this type of fishing as well, because when these fish hit, they hit hard, you know what I mean? Sometimes it's just a slackline bite and the next minute that's it, your rod's going. So be prepared. Sometimes you can sit here for 4 or 5 hours, nothing happens, and then you get a big run. The circle at the back, because it's snelled on, I just take that just through the back of the fish now, like that. So it just comes out the back, and then I'll take a bit of bait elastic just around the back of that. I'll just get the hook a little pull down into the fish, then put some bait elastic around the back of that. We'll put a little bit of bait elastic just around the back of the hook so it holds the hook in place. It shouldn't slide up because it's snelled on. There's loads of different ways to bait up and do these rigs, to be honest. Everyone's going to have their own way of doing it. But that's how the bait sits. So it's the back hook usually that will get you the fish, the circle hook. The front's really there on a Pennel. Whether you want them one way, this way, both hooks that way, both hooks there and there. It's up to you the way you do it. Just do what you think's right and what works for you. But let's get this one out, so I'm keen to get fishing. So your rods and reels for tope fishing, I generally use me Daiwa Saltis, or my 30H's really. As long as you got a good strong reel with you. Main line's probably more important for mono. You want a minimum of £25 if you're on mono for a good sized braid. Rod wise, to be honest, as long as you've got a rod with a little bit of backbone, you can take a tope on with any rod, to be fair. But, you know, so just use what you feel comfortable with. Yeah, so I was down here, what, 2 nights ago, literally just before high. I got a run, got a tope on, made up, spat the hook on me. It happens. That is part of tope fishing as well. They're quite hard fish to track down, to be fair. You might know a mark where they fish, but whether they're there or not, it's a totally different matter. Every day isn't the same for tope, I'm afraid. If they're there, they're there. They're not, they're not. That's kind of the way they are. Yeah, so we're just going to persevere today. I'm expecting really the fishing to start when we get closer to high water. We're just fishing the beaches at the moment because we travelled a long way, so we just want to do a bit of fishing. Not really much else here, really, to be fair. I mean, you'll get a tope, you might get a big bass, odd huss, stuff like that. So we'll see. We'll just keep up with the big baits, big or bust. Let's get fishing. Right, so we moved up onto the high water mark now. It's time to get the fresh mackerel on, start banging the fresh baits out. We've got about 4 hours fishing now. Hopefully we'll get something just on high. I think we might just get lucky today. Conditions do look good out here, so yeah, fresh baits from now on. Let's get fishing. Right, so getting pushed back onto the high water mark. We've got 4 hours fishing now. I'm hoping an hour either side of high is probably hopefully where I'll get something. It's a team effort when we come out. He catches, I catch. We're both happy. Certainly I'll be landing his and he'll be landing mine. Yeah, good fun today. Lovely weather. Conditions look really good actually. We've just got to hope that the fish actually turn up. They're not the easiest fish in the world to track down, I'll tell you that much. They really aren't. But the rock marks are actually more predictable than the shore is. You know, you've got to pick that right bit of beach at the right time. It's hard work. Hopefully we can get one. Right, so first mark didn't go according to plan, so we have packed up, had a rest, got something to eat, and now we're on mark number 2. So it does show you do have to put some hours into these. So we've got another 6 hours fishing until our bait lasts, fishing to darkness. See if that makes a difference.
Definitely bigger than 25.
Right, so we've done it. We've got a tope. What we've done today, nearly 16 hour session. We finally got a tope at last. We were literally on our last 2 casts. So let's have a look at this, see if you can see it. There she is. Lovely sized tope. So there you go, we did it. Lovely sized tope here. You can see the size of this. We move the parlour back, we just get him weighed quickly. And we're going to let him go. Let him weighed. Take the bag off from the loaded. Wow. 25 pounds. Not bad. 25, mate. Lovely, mate. Well done. Well deserved, that Paul. Nice. You know. Right, I do apologise for the footage. Hope you can see that well, but one nice big 25 pound tope. Quite happy with that. Going to take some photos and get this one released. Right, so there you go. Tope from the shore. We did it. Absolutely made up. I put some hours into that. So that's the 7th trip out now. We've done 2 back-to-back trips today. I think that's 60 hours fishing in total this week to get that fish. It's not easy catching these tope and trying to track down where they are. I lost one yesterday. Managed to get a bullet out. So we came back again this morning. We blanked. We had a break. We've come back to another mark. We're fishing into darkness now. And finally, I've got a tope. Absolutely over the moon, to be honest. Finally. Yeah, so that's been a really long day, that. We've been out since 6 o'clock this morning. It's now midnight. Finally got my tope out for the year. I'm quite happy with that. Well, I'm over the moon, actually. I'm static, shaking like a leaf. The adrenaline when you catch them. But yeah, so 6 trips this week. That's a horrendous amount of fishing. 60 hours to get that fish. A lot of time and effort does go into catching them. Some people go out and do it first time, but hopefully the video gives you a little insight into tope fishing. And hopefully we tried to stick out for another hour, but I think I'm beaten up, to be honest. I've got a long drive home as well. So Starfish Sea Fishing, thank you for liking and subscribing recently, and I'll be seeing you again.